Can you tell me about a time when you learned something valuable from working with somebody from a different generation?
I have a coworker at work, maybe more of a specific story, but she is the oldest in our workplace, and she would be what you call a boomer, I guess. But her and I have really bonded at work, which I wouldn't have expected when I first entered the workplace. And I feel like she really instills in me how to interact with different generations. So my generation as a Gen Z responds to more casual talk, or maybe it's less formal, but there's some generations where they've grown up where it's very respectful, ma'am, mister, like it's very formal. And I think that she's really taught me how to respectfully interact with a boomer generation and how they're going to respond to my customer service or in the manner which I interact with them, which I found really, really helpful.
Yeah, so I've had a lot of experience working in tourism over the summer months, and so of course I am usually working with people closer to my age, but I have had a lot of managers and bosses that are older than me as well, and I think it's really important to gain their perspectives on things, because of course it's not going to be possible for somebody my age to have all of the knowledge and have all of the experience that they might have. So just getting their opinions and perspectives on different things, like maybe using certain types of language or interacting with certain groups of people, and things surrounding, marketing and event planning, just to have that extra kind of perspective is really important.
I think a part of it is learning about the fact that I've noticed that younger generations especially, putting mental health at the forefront has been massive. In the millennial generation, I find we do that, but the Gen Z and lower are even more great about that. And it's pushed me to do mental health training, first aid training as an HR professional, so I can know how to work with them and work with that, because in the world today we live in, that's a very common thing to deal with that, and we have to know how to deal with that properly in the workplace. And I think that openness that's provided has made a huge difference in how I look at things, and seeing the training and the learning and the approach for that has really opened up my eyes, and just I think helped me teach other people who may not be as aware of that how to also be more aware of that in a way that's not causing any issues necessarily.
Boss of mine right out of university used to say that anything that's worth doing is worth doing right. And I find that the more time you put into something and the more you know about something, he was bang on.
I know that a lot of my coworkers are full-time staff who are older than me, and they have taught me a lot of maturity in the workplace, and they've taught me a lot of skills to deal with certain situations, especially with the kids. So how to handle certain behaviors or try and get the attention from the crowd or different things like that. And I know I've learned a lot of tips and tricks and different things like that from them.
The wisdom and the information that older coworkers have to pass on. Say Gen X or boomers have been doing this job for years and years, and I have no doubt that they have all kinds of really awesome information to pass on.
When I started working at Built-Right, we have a older Red Seal. His name is Doug, and Doug is very old school in the way he does things, and he's very short and to the point, and you can tell he's so much knowledge because he's been doing it for so long that when he gets to a project, he knows the fastest way to do something. And it was so impressive when I first watched him, because I understand the academic side and I understand the theory of carpentry, but a lot of it in the field isn't as straightforward, and there's a lot shorter and quicker ways to do it. And we were doing a steel roof, and he showed me how to measure the angle without having to calculate the math and find any of the triangles. He showed me just a very easy way to scribe it with a pencil and then just measure it, and I was amazed that he took 10 minutes off of the job in an instant, just because he already had so much experience in it, and it was amazing and incredible. And that's still a trick that I use almost every time we do one, because
years ago, going back into public accounting, the new CA students would come in, and you think they really don't know much, but they'll come in with a different look on things. It kind of opens your eyes of another side, and how, I guess that goes with all generations. We all have different people, period. But I can't think of one particular, but I've worked with all different generations. I guess just recently, even the last few years, we've had a few younger people come in the office, and I thought that it was great because you would hear new things that I wouldn't have heard before, of how even technology can learn a lot. I can learn a lot from younger people. Yeah.